let's introduce the man himself, Spicy Draco, Morgan Tremaine. Welcome to the channel, buddy.
Hey, how's it going?
It's going well, man. You are aware that this is being televised, right?
I am aware that there are cameras. Yeah, it's my camera.
I mean, okay, so first of all, I have to ask you, how did it feel?
Testifying?
That moment, yeah.
Oh, that moment didn't feel like anything. I was horrified the entire time. Like my ex roommate put it perfectly. I saw he left some comment. He said Morgan's an introvert. There's no way he would ever do this if it wasn't for truth. So yeah, I was just absolutely horrified the entire time. I had no idea. I had even did like an okay enough job. I just sat down and just felt horrified.
Dude, you do not strike me as an introvert. I mean, just the rapid fire way that you like I can't tell you how many times I saw that clip at this point, but you came off so natural because she attacked you like right in open court, and you responded with what I think is the most natural retort of, why are you calling me out? I'm calling you out. That's why my reaction and the reaction of the rest of the world was like, that's what you get, Elaine.
Yeah, it was a pretty sucky question, but I mean, I guess that's all the real defense they had. I know she had tried that with a few other people, and so yeah, it was just kind of unfortunate that they had to kind of go that route. But yeah, for me, it was. I mean, it tells you where my mentality was. It's just I'm gonna say what I'm gonna say. It's the truth, and what makes sense. And if you come at me with something that is illogical, it'd be like, yeah, I'm gonna follow that train of thought. So.
I totally agree with you, man. I let's talk about the verdict real quick. By the way, we finally got a verdict with the Johnny Depp trial, and I saw that you tweeted that you actually cried when the verdict came down, man. And I feel you.
Yeah, I think. Well, for me, it's like this was just so much stress, and it was easily the most stressful like week or couple weeks of my life. So it's just feeling like this has an end to it. I just feel like something kind of lifted off me, especially with, I mean, all my experience leading up to this and everything I went through back then at that one place, and having to go on the stand. It was just like a relief for this is all over, and for whatever my contribution was to this, I'm glad I came forward.
You are unintentionally famous because initially I think, you would have been forever embedded in this trial. And because Elaine called you out, she immortalized you.
That was super weird. Yeah. That was a really, really, truly unexpected and kind of frankly unwelcomed consequence. Cause yeah, it's just like a horrifying amount of attention. Like the only reason I'm coming on this is like, I mean, I've been approached by everybody, like news networks, like in the UK here, documentaries, like everything. So I don't want to do any of that, and I just feel like gross is a part of that news cycle. But I've loved all the content creators who have done stuff around the trial, like you, and it was great to find out that you were the guy who had that reaction behind Elaine. So I'm happy to come on here and talk about as much as I can on this. But yeah.
Yeah, no, and I appreciate you doing this because I think, well, first of all, the world loves you because you said what everybody wanted to say. And then when you said it, everybody reacted in the exact same way that everybody in the courtroom reacted. Her lawyers, Amber Heard's lawyers, reacted in the same way.
I bet they wish they could have said that too. So yeah.
I mean, did you see the little, I don't know if you caught it, but Camille did one of those little perk ups. Did you watch that clip when she perked up a little bit when you said that?
I think I saw some happy, like reaction montage, but yeah, I think they appreciated that moment, which is good because I mean it is such a gotcha question, so it was just kind of unfortunate that it had to go to that place. And for the record, like I don't hold any ill will against any of Heard's lawyers. I mean they're trying to do their job. It is what it is. Well, I think about what Johnny said, where it's just like he's already lost this, so I'm not in like a celebration mode. He's already lost so much, so hopefully he can. Justice was served, so hopefully he can get something of his life and his career back. But yeah, I never think this is as like a time to celebrate. It's it's really just an unfortunate event for everybody involved.
All in all, I agree with you. Although I have to disagree with the not celebrating part, because I feel the whole world wants to have
Oh yeah, nothing
a
against
mega
anybody who
pint,
wants to, but I know for me personally, it's just like this is
6 years
like
worth.
what a bummer this whole thing has been, and everything that everybody had to go through leading up to this for like the last 6 years. Yeah.
That is so true. Also, I have to ask, Spicy Draco,
Yeah.
whose idea was that? I have to know.
I don't know. I saw lots of people tagging me and like leaving comments about that. It was like TMZ Draco, Spicy Draco, stuff like that. A lot of people grabbed onto the fact that I look a little bit like Malfoy, which is fine with me. I've met
You
him. I've
know,
cosplayed as him.
so if you don't mind, I would like to add a couple more people to the conversation.
Sure.
It's James from court and Vanessa Blair, the reporter. They were both in court with me, or well, James was. I can't remember if Vanessa actually was or not. Um, James had the same reaction, the open gaping mouth when you were testifying.
I remember. I wish
Uh,
I remember seeing that night, and I was like, oh, I wish I could see them before I say hi to them before I left, but I'd left already. So now we're doing this instead.
no, it's all good, man. It's all good. So I'm adding them right now. They're in standby mode. There they are. Hey guys,
Hi.
James, you're muted. Hey,
Hey
Vanessa.
there.
Hi.
So yeah, I've been talking to Morgan. I don't know if you guys have been following, but I just
Yep.
wanted to. By the way, remind me, Vanessa, were you there with us during that
Yeah,
moment when he said that?
I was sitting directly behind Elaine, so Elaine blocks me. So I lost my 15 minutes of fame,
Oh
Morgan.
no, the
I
worst spot in the
know.
courtroom that day.
Exactly. So, but what I'd really like to know is what your POV was. Like, were you aware of the jury? Were you aware of the gallery? Or when you're a witness, are you really just focused on the opposing counsel asking your questions?
Well, in the interest of not having a public panic attack, I tried to just focus to who's asking my questions, but I did just experientially want to like look over and see the jury and just kind of get a sense of that, and I don't think I ever made eye contact with Amber. But yeah, once you sit down and you're like, yeah, this is the thing I just saw on TV a little bit ago, and it's just interesting to put a face to the jurors, but I really just tried to focus on answering the questions as best I could, and desperately trying not to have a panic attack because it was horrifying.
Yeah.
You pulled it off real well, man, because I could not tell. You were so confident. I'm telling you again, you got what it takes. I'm telling you.
Well, it's it's the same thing I said when I would see the clip side scene of Johnny on the stand. It's like it's easy when you're telling the truth.
Exactly. It's easy.
So
when
I
you're
wasn't
telling the truth.
memorizing a script. It wasn't that. It was just, yeah, this was my experience. So
Yeah, first I just want to say like the internet, they love you. Like Twitter always talks about you. They're
it's
very
a very weird
excited.
experience. Yeah, I think I've gotten like 10,000 DMs, if not more.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's insane. I mean, how does it feel going from because you worked for TMZ and you kind of like cover that to now having that all put on you and now there's videos of you all over the internet and things like that?
I mean, I desperately never wanted that. I also never really wanted TMZ to be my claim to fame.
Fair.
Just even like just professionally, I mean, because it was just, I don't know, everyone always asks you like, oh, what was it like? What was it like there? And it's just like the truth is, it was not great.
Mm.
But I don't know. It's all very strange, and luckily I've witnessed the life cycle of this, so I know very soon everyone will forget I existed. I look forward to that time.
I'm sure you do.
So
Shoot.
Morgan, have you ever met Amber in person?
I've never met her. I saw her
Okay.
once at a Restoration Hardware in West Hollywood, like
Okay,
I don't know, 10 years ago. I think that's the only time.
cool. Okay, so another question. Was there anything you wanted to say in court but you couldn't for either objection wise or like you were told beforehand? Like, and you don't have to say it now, but just were there things that you wanted to share but you were told you couldn't?
I don't think so.
Okay.
I was it wasn't a lot of coaching or anything. It was just get up and ask you questions.
And were you nervous? I know you said you were trying not to have a panic attack, but was the whole thing kind of nerve-wracking
Yeah,
beforehand?
it was the most stressful week of my life because it's like,
Oh shoot,
because
yeah.
obviously they filed that in motion, so I'm sitting there not knowing if I'm going to go up until right before I go up.
Did you have to be in Fairfax the entire time?
I mean, just for the few like couple days I was
Okay.
there.
True.
M. Salazar says, Runkle sent me Morgan's grit and fight is admirable. Here's a question for you, Morgan. What part of your involvement in the trial was the most surprising to you? That's a great question, M. Salazar. Throw more questions, you guys.
Most surprising. I have to pick something dumb. I didn't realize how much natural light was in there and how pretty the courthouse is.
They just
when you're in
rebuilt
there.
it.
Like, it's actually really nice. Yeah.
Doesn't it smell
'Cause
amazing?
It
though?
reads because it's got those really crap PTZ cameras they call them with that all over that shoots this thing. But yeah, it's like it's actually really pretty inside. There's some good natural light. Yeah.
Did you
Also,
catch what
I
it-
didn't realize when you watch it online and they do the white noise
Yeah.
when they're doing a sidebar. I didn't realize they did that in the room. That was very interesting.
Can you hear that up on the witness stand?
So they didn't do it when I was on the witness stand.
Okay.
Immediately afterwards, I didn't know where to go and I was kind of freaking out. So I just sat down in the gallery in the third row. And then as soon as I could bail out of there, I did. So I was just like, I had no sense of what just happened.
Yeah.
Just like, I got to get out of here. I feel like everyone's looking at me. So that was when the photo guy was up there.
I can understand now more and more the more you're talking about how nerve-wracking the experience must have been.
I thought the judge was great. I really enjoyed her.
Really? Why do you say that?
I
Yeah,
think I
she was
remember
fun.
hearing that she's a former Marine,
Yep.
which I think
Yeah.
explains the heroic patience she exhibited throughout this entire process.
I agree.
She did.
It seemed like Elaine had a moment of pleasure when you fired back. Did you get that feeling from her? To me, it was one moment she enjoyed in the whole trial.
I saw she smiled, I think, just by virtue of, shit, I walked into that, didn't I? Yeah.
What were you thinking in that moment when she asked you, about your 15 minutes of fame? How
There
did
were
you?
no thoughts. I was on autopilot. No thoughts.
Yeah.
Because at that point, it's just you have to access a higher level of brain function, just tune out.
Yeah.
So I have no idea. I was just talking.
Did it feel like you were in a play and like the white lights and everything was just, the people in the
No,
audience?
not quite like that. No, I mean I think they do a good job of hiding the cameras and it's lit like a normal building, so it doesn't have that same kind of on-stage effect of it. But I mean, certainly you're aware of it, and you're Johnny Depp standing in front of you. It's a little odd.
Ben Pillock says, I can't believe I will have this opportunity to DM to Morgan. Bravo. You're the world's new best friend.
I wish I could DM everybody back, but it's literally I think literally 10,000 DMs on Twitter and Instagram and TikTok everywhere.
It's a drag, but I believe in you, Morgan.
And you said your family messaged you and your parents did all your friends hit you up and were like, yo, you're all over the news, you're all over the world?
I think everybody I ever met.
Yeah.
hit me up and be like I'm pretty sure because I'm sort of recognizable. I have weird bleached hair and stuff, so it's I think you can see me in a thumbnail and be like, that has to be Morgan, I think. But
You were, the
nobody
icon of the
knew
trial.
other than my wife, really. So
Yeah. Well, when you walked in there, I have to tell you, we were listening to video depositions for a long time, and you had this energy, and it was like a breath of fresh air. You came in, and your testimony was witty and funny, and you had the black suit and the black boots, and it was just the whole energy in the courtroom changed. It was cool.
speaking of the suit, this is a fun little tidbit.
Yeah.
I was so nervous about it. I desperately didn't want to do any of this, and the night before I found out I was going to go on and had to fly out, I won $200 on a scratcher, and I was like, "That's suit
Nice.
money.
Crazy.
That's a sign.
Nice.
I have to go out. I have to go ahead and get a suit now." So
God came down in the form of a lottery ticket and said, thou shalt go to the trial looking snazzy.
yeah, so I went out and just bought a suit with that money, and yeah, so that was a sign for me. I was like, "This is I have to do this."
What's
It
the
was
story?
iconic.
What's the story with the action figure? I saw you post on Twitter.
Oh, that's just somebody who does joke action figures about pop
Yeah.
culture stuff. So He had tagged me in that.
Does it actually exist, or it's a graphic?
It's a physical thing. He's sending it to me.
I wonder if he can make one for the auction. That'd be cool.
Oh, probably, because I know he
Yeah.
does sell them on Etsy.
Oh, okay,
so
cool.
probably.
We'll connect with
Nice.
him. Yeah. But that was super. Now you have your own action figure.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Do you have a channel, Morgan?
So I have I've been a content creator for a long time, and I work in esports. So I used to have a bunch of YouTube videos up, and I used to stream on Twitch a lot. I sort of privated everything when I knew this was going to happen, and I'm just like, let me just start fresh and give in case people start digging into my old stuff, I don't get embarrassed by like 5-year-old videos where I'm talking about video games, or I'm like playing Fortnite or something. So if I decide to start streaming or doing stuff like that again, then everything's just my name at Morgan Tremaine.
Thank you for standing up for the truth, Morgan. It is all too rare these days. Props and praise, says Erica Force.
I appreciate that. Like I said,
See,
it was scary.
loves
I
it,
didn't
man.
want to do it, but I'm glad I did it, because I think I didn't realize how important it was in the moment. It's like you see clips and you think, oh, that's kind of funny. I remember having to deal with that. And then it isn't until you talk to somebody and then you sort of realize, like, oh, I actually am extremely involved in this. Okay, I didn't realize. They were so nice. They were so great to work with. It's insane.
They're great people.
The nicest people. My only regret from this whole trial, though, I'll say, is I didn't get to pet the alpacas in the front.
Oh,
I missed the alpacas, yeah.
what made you decide to come forward when you did? Asks Johnny Matches.
I mean, it's exactly what I testified to. It was just I had been sent a clip and sort of realized there were some discrepancies, and I'm like, maybe I can help clear some stuff up, having no intention or interest in actually testifying. So it was just as soon as I got that phone call, it was like, oh, I'm already too far into this, aren't I? It's already too late for me to turn back, isn't it? Yeah.
Lori Benson asks, as an introvert, how did you prepare for such public exposure?
Call my prescriber and get a Xanax prescription in case I have a panic attack. That's what you do. I
Did it
mean, it's
work?
like I've been on, like I've done TV, and I've been like a red carpet reporter, and I produced and directed like a show and stuff. I've done all sorts of stuff.
So you have some experience.
It's always nerve-wracking, but it's like one of those things you have to push through because you have to do it. You just have to do it. So I had to just sit there and in my head try to figure out how in my body I could physically do this. So it was a lot. It was a lot, but yeah, it was like mentally prepping yourself. Like, I have to do this. How can I do this? How can I actually physically get up there and do this and not make an ass of myself?
Well, you did a
How was
great
your-
job.
Well, I appreciate that.
I'm sorry, James. How was your experience communicating with Depp's team?
Great. I mean, they're, very warm and welcoming and understanding, and it was very, I mean, it was friendly as much as it could be. It's very, clinical and by the book, so can't really say too much about that, but they were very friendly, especially after the fact. It was like windmill high fives. Like, you did great.
But yeah.
And we're going to do one final question because I don't want to keep you here longer than I should. DJ Holiday asks, Morgan, did you feel Amber death stared you as you testified? Really respect your bravery. Burn of the century on Elaine.
No, I didn't, because I had a feeling that if I looked at her, it might kind of shake me a little bit, because I just figured that whole side of the room would be trying to throw me off a little bit. Because I mean, the whole time it was I had to keep looking over because Elaine was basically standing the whole time,
Yeah.
just ready to object. Like, she was not seated for my entire testimony, just ready to hit the button. So I'd look over and be like, "Are you going to say something, or are you going to sit down?"
It must have felt really awkward.
I mean, it was, but again, it's like you're telling the truth, so there was some confidence in that. I didn't have to remember anything. It just I already knew exactly what happened. So
Exactly. Well, listen, James, Vanessa, I thank you for joining me. And of course, the Morgan Tremaine, everybody. I can't thank you enough for joining me. It's been a pleasure watching you in court spill the truth. And it's been a pleasure talking to you one-on-one. So I thank you for joining me, and I will see you all next time.
Yeah, and it's great to see all the content creators, and I'm glad that so many people have gotten a chance to kind of shine in the content creator space legally, legal YouTubers and TikTokers and such. That's been really great to watch. So, good job for all
Thank
the
you,
coverage.
sir, and same to you. Great job. You have helped turn the tides on this case, whether you know it or not.
Thanks all.
Bye,
right.
Morgan.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.
Bye.